And the coming few minutes, I will take you through the government side of the story, let's say, when it comes to digital media. Throughout the past few years, I have the opportunity to work with Dubai e-government and the federal e-government of UAE. And since social media started to pick up in UAE in the region a few years ago, I have been witnessing and actually contributing to the shift being made by the public sector organization in UAE. What's supposed to be here is a tweet by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President, the Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai. In March, he announced a new cabinet of UAE government. And he decided to tweet it instead of announcing it through the traditional media channels. So he tweeted the new cabinet, the names of the ministers, and also he shared it on his Facebook page. For me, this was more than a tweet. It was a message from His Highness to the public sector leaders, to the government officials across UAE, to embrace social media with more confidence, to attack the opportunity created by social media. Currently, we can say that more than 60% of the public sector organization of UAE has presence on at least one social media channel. The most popular ones, as you know, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and others. And this presence mainly is a response to the high level of adoption of social media in the country, among the society. And you know the numbers in this domain. But also, it's a response for the people demands. People believe that social media should be adopted by the governments to design and deliver public services, which is the way government mainly deliver public value to the public. But let's check out how governments really use social media. These data you are looking at were published at the government summit. It's a research done by Dubai School of Government, and I had a chance to contribute to it actually. As you can see, most of the government use of social media focus on sharing information and responding to basic inquiries and questions from the public, which is good. This is, again, that was a photo of a Bugatti. Yeah, the Bugatti shared by Dahi Khalfan, Chief Commander of Dubai Police, announcing that Bugatti is the new car to join the luxury fleet of Dubai police cars. So typically Dubaian tweet. That's good. That's a typical example. But let's go back to the chart. As you can see, things like crowdsourcing, public consultations are still limited in public sector use of social media. And for me, that's a big loss. Let's look at it the other way. This is a visualization of the same findings. We have the core government business, which is creating value to the public, designing policies, designing services, delivering services. And then we have part of that, we have the media and PR jobs. And the most use of social media goes to that PR and media. For me, there is a huge opportunity rely in taking social media into the core business of the government. We don't need to repeat the mistake of quality management years ago, when many organizations thought that quality management is a job of the quality department, while it's a practice and culture need to be spread across the organization. And this happens mainly, according to my experience with the government, because of the way we think, or most of the government officials think of social media. They consider it as a new media channel to be added to the portfolio of media channels we have, or a new techie channels and devices to be added to the portfolio we already have. For me, it's more than that. It's a new era, should be considered with a whole new philosophy. It's a new opportunity for us to redefine, to redesign the way government does business. So to move forward, to tackle these opportunities, we need to secure some enablers, and luckily we have most of them. First, leadership support, and we have it here in UAE very clearly. But then we need high citizen readiness, That is on the usage side, the adoption side, which is already exists. And we have the innovation-driven public sector in UAE. Innovation, especially technology innovation, is not new to UAE public sector. So these enablers are already there. What we need to do is, first thing is to really think of social media as a new philosophy, and instead of only a new media channel or tech opportunities. And then before jumping into social media, it's good to take a time and think about it. Think of an answer to the question why. Why we are going social? What are we trying to do there? So design, and develop a strategy for going on social media. This could be across the government or para-government agency. And finally, tackle the challenge of redesigning the internal business and the culture of the government organizations. Thank you very much. I hope that is useful for you.